Hi guys, Raj here with just a video newsletter, just showing you what's going on with the markets and how things are working at the moment, and just really what we think could potentially happen in the future, or just doing a bit of analysis. So you can see here where we're pretty bearish on the equities. So this is the S&P 500 today, and I just wanted to point out some really great signals that our momentum trigger has pulled up. So you can see just there, and that would have been on around the Friday the 22nd, sorry, the 26th of November. We had a pretty strong short signal and also some downside PTS targets. And like really, the momentum trigger is such a simple strategy. You just sit there and take the signals when they turn red on red and follow the downside targets from the higher time frame, and it obviously would have come to fruition. Obviously you've got to hold on to a little bit of pain, but it's just been working so nicely that I don't think you'd really mind as those profits roll in. The weekly has also been showing a little bit of an interesting move, shall we say. You can see the storyteller waves getting lower as the market was going up, so that kind of helped inspire this sell-off to the downside as well. So indices short term still looking a little bit short, but what I do want to do is just bring up the size of the daily chart and just kind of show you a level that I'm a little bit interested in. I want to see if the market conclusively closes below there. And then obviously we got this one on the way down as well around here. So I just want to see what happens between this area. And if the market does get below and then pushes back up, I want to see another one of these momentum triggers to let me know that this down move is over. A little bit like what happened here. You can see that the market pulled down. We had the negative momentum trigger. It continued to go down. Then when we got the positive one, when we broke through the resistance levels, the market moved back up in its usual uptrend. Trading against a trend is very difficult. And obviously we want to get the momentum triggers in the direction of the trend. That really helps us. So that's what I'm watching out for in the S&P 500, the main index in the world, really. Let's go and look at euro dollar, one of the main currencies. And you can see here, this has also been working a treat now. We've got a couple of upside targets on the daily PTS. The weekly PTS is still looking really negative. So what I would be looking at here is if we do get any negative momentum triggers, and what that means is that if this market moves on the downside with our storyteller indicator, that would be really good for another downside move. And hopefully we could get back below those moving averages in line with this trend here that's been moving down quite recently. Just bringing up the higher time frame as well, just to point out, there is a support. This area of support on the daily chart has been used, but sometimes supports are there to be broken. They're just tested sometimes to see whether there's any resolve in them. This is a classic example of that. The market came down, made a support, tested it, came back up, but then broke through. So we want to see if that happens again. But 112 for euro dollar is quite low. So that does have to be said as well. It does have to be mentioned. Let's just have a look at a couple of other ones. So let's go and check on gold. That's meandering at the moment, but it's important to know that it's meandering. So you can see on the 4 hour, again, this momentum trigger has worked really well on the downside ever since around November 16th or so. And we've still got downside PTS targets on both the weekly and the daily. So again, any negative targets on the 4 hour or the 1 hour could be traded in that direction as well. So that's quite nice. And then away from that, let's just go and check out copper, because I often like to see what copper is doing. And you can see here we're again pretty negative. Again, the negative momentum trigger has worked a treat off the daily and weekly targets. So it's all going really swimmingly at the moment. Now on the upside, we can also look at some currencies like dollar yen. So dollar yen, we had some really strong moves here. We've retraced from this up move now. We've got some downside targets on the weekly. You can see they're a little bit against each other. Weekly we got going up, daily we're going down. So you don't have to do anything on the 4 hour. There's nothing that needs to be done there. USDCAD as well. That has been a lovely up move. You can see now we're about to break the moving averages on the weekly chart. We've already broken the moving averages and hit the upside PTS targets. And then again, just to show you the effectiveness of what the momentum trigger does and how it works, you can see how that is there. So some really good trades off the back of this momentum trigger this week. Next week, we've got James doing a momentum trigger webinar on Thursday. So join in for that one. that would be quite good to learn a little bit more, a bit of the mechanics about the momentum trigger and the storyteller indicator, also how you can use it in conjunction with the PTS targets, and most importantly, how to scan for trades with it. That's the thing. Like, obviously, we have a scanner. We have a scanner. Excuse me. We use it on a day-to-day basis, and James will be going through that on that day. So it's all looking good. Nice charts this week. Some good, excellent trades from the live trading room, and hopefully we can see you in that webinar next week. And if not, look out for the rest of the newsletters.